right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
RWBY
RWBY Volume 7,
Chapter 12. And, yeah.
That last episode, words are hard.
Was amazing and wonderful, and I love it so much. But now here we are.
I think that this next episode will be that moment where we go, okay, Volume 7.
Yeah.
Okay, Volume 7. Because they have to cliffhanger us again, because of RWBY, on the finale, and whatever the finale will be.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And we've got our cast still rather split up, but it's all surrounding the same kind of chaos. And Ironwood is specifically now the tip of the spear for this chaos. So how will his choice, rippling effects be shown? I think the immediate one is that we are getting probably our first in a while 4-on-4 fight.
Like, when was the last time that we got an actual 4-on-4?
Like, an actual 4-on-4.
An actual 4-on-4.
It's usually been 2v2s or 2v1s.
Right, because even if they pretend to have a 4-on-4, it's just sort of like, all right, now it's all split into 1-on-1s or something.
Well, that's the thing. The villains usually never have 4 in their group. So I have to think back to, like, the Volume 5, actually, shenanigans of just, it wasn't really 4-on-4, but it was like a bunch of really awkwardly split up 1v1s and 2v1s and even in the Vital Fest, it was something where it wasn't 4-on-4. They would still break it up into 1-on-1s and they're probably going to have it, if anything, being 4v4. It's not going to be 4v4 forever,
right? Like, but they're in an enclosed space, so.
So boy. How does that work?
I just hope that Tyrion doesn't get away because of, like, the stuff that happens. I hope that the adults keep their wits about them and remember what's the number one thing.
Yeah, my main worry, honestly, is literally regarding that group.
Yeah,
it's not really about what they choose. It's about how Tyrion is involved or not involved with it.
Right, because if they fight, great. But first, put 2 in the back of his head or something, or drop him in a cell or something. I don't know,
or just don't lead to this with him getting away.
Exactly.
Now, there might be bigger things at play. My main worry is that it's 3 people, and those are 3 different people with different motivations.
They really
are. If it's usually a 1v1, I actually usually trust it to end up usually better.
But 1v1
is a really bad.
Right. Although
it could get really good, it get really bad, and it could get really ugly too.
To be fair though, Robin and Crow, I feel like, have a better reason to be working together than, like, I don't know why they would necessarily be fighting each other. So
I think the main issue would be Clover and Robin.
Right.
And then Crow, if anything, kind of panicking.
Getting caught in the middle, maybe.
Well, I think he would get either caught in the middle, or he would panic and maybe think about Tyrion specifically, and also the fact that his semblance is probably going to be something that he blames for whatever happens, because...
But Clover's here too, so cancel out.
But if Clover doesn't want to help in this regard, because he's,
I don't know.
Yeah. It's gonna get chaotic. It's gonna get crazy.
Yep.
So y'all, without further ado, let's get into it. Keep dreaming about a better world. You keep wishing for some tragedy.
Yeah. The volume up to now has been so hopeful, and they've been working together, and now...
Yeah. But, I mean, let's think about RWBY as a grand narrative. I think the idea that there is a dream of something that Ironwood cooked up, the Amity Tower in low orbit kind of plan, is not a bad one. But the idea that it would work and go off without a hitch, especially given that they were starting to pressure things there, I like that it was just basically 2 of Salem's pawns that were enough to throw the whole thing out of whack. And while Cinder did kind of come in and add basically the final push in the cracks, you know? Yeah. it's quite impressive that we actually now had the villains being extremely effective here, with their numbers being so few.
Right. And yet, in a lot of ways, if Ironwood had just trusted Robin from the beginning...
If Ruby had trusted Ironwood from the beginning...
Yeah.
Bro, let's go back. Like...
Yeah.
Like...
Ironwood's declaring martial law and abandoning Mantle! Salem is coming and he's going to use the staff to move Atlas! If we don't stop him, Mantle's going to be
Yeah.
Declaring martial law? We cannot let him do this!
Miss Hill, I'm sure the General understands the enormity of his...
Oh. Well.
Clover. Crow,
Oh, crap.
you should know that I've been asked to bring you in.
Free ride and a show.
There's also an alert out
Okay.
for Team Ruby's arrest.
Has James lost his mind?
He's trying to stop anybody who might get in the way of this inhumane plan. Looks like he underestimated me. Again.
Only Crow is under arrest. After everything we've been through tonight, please don't make me arrest you too.
Cut it out, both
Yeah.
of you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Almost
stop.
back to Atlas. Let's talk to James personally.
It's taking a very long time for this show to get to the good part.
Shut up.
He's right. Let's get this over with.
Robin?
Ah, crap. Well.
Whoa.
Fine.
Okay. Well, this is
Wish it
bad.
hadn't come to this. It doesn't have to.
Hold on now.
Hug it out once we've taken him down!
Wait, yeah, seriously? Like...
Who's flying the ship?
What are you doing? The will of our goddess!
Yep. Wow. God damn it.
See,
Nice. What did you do?
The General is leaving Mantle to perish?
He's saving Remnant. We can't let the relics fall to Salem.
But all those people we just protected, they won't survive.
We don't have time to-
That doesn't bother you? What about your sister? Our friends?
My personal feelings don't matter. We have orders. I'm to retrieve the power of the Winter Maiden so we can access the relic. You're here to ensure my safety. Now come on. We've already lost enough time.
It should matter.
Ooh.
Penny, the General is making hard choices so we don't have to. For the good of all, not just a few.
I do not see what is good about any of this.
On that we can agree.
Please, think about what you're doing.
You
Okay.
are the General. Until this is sorted
Okay.
out, you're under arrest.
Oh, shoot. Oh,
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Don't make this difficult.
Don't make us have to get out of here by force.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh,
We're
Marrow.
not actually going to slug this out, are we?
We're not doing anything. They decide what happens next.
All right. Whoa. Oh.
You think you're going to stop us? We're the best huntsmen in Atlas.
You were.
Oh!
Then you trained us.
Oh, shoot! Oh, shoot!
Oh,
it's
boy.
on!
Wait,
Oh, God!
wait,
Let's go!
whoa.
Ruby is so confident! Whoa!
Come on, Harriet! We're playing right into Salem's hands!
Oh, with the music!
Uh-huh.
Together!
Oh, don't give me that crap. I had you kids pegged right from the start.
Oh, let's go!
That was like some JoJo stuff right there.
Yeah! Shit! Oh my God!
Okay.
I am for this!
Yes. Oh, yeah.
If you come peacefully, we won't hurt you.
Speak for yourself. They betrayed us!
You're betraying the people you've sworn to protect! It's not worth it, Blake. They're just following orders now.
Whoa. Okay.
Seems like it would have been a good time for Buck to have used her semblance, but
I think she's just immobilized.
Oh, man.
Shoot!
The two truly best of the groups.
Yep.
I know you sneeze are used to getting what you want, but it's time to let this one go.
Oh, and he's trying to keep this peaceful.
Yep.
This is my home. And I'm not giving it up without a fight.
Oh, dude.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Now, Tyrion shouldn't have been able to get away.
Are you kidding me?
Well, not really.
Of course he would have.
No, but they're on an open expanse.
Well, the thing is, would he want to necessarily?
Robin needs help. Surrender, and we can take her to Atlas. Get her patched up.
Never pegged you for the manipulative type, but I've learned a lot of things tonight.
I enjoyed working with you, you know? Even with that endless cynicism of yours.
I'm usually proven right.
We don't have to fight, friend.
Wow.
You don't know my friends. That's how it always goes.
Whoa. How it always goes. Oh, okay. He's still unconscious. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's gonna wake up just like everyone else, though.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait. Was he... Oh! Ow! Ow! Oh!
Oh, boy.
Oh!
He's gonna kill Robin, isn't he? While they're fighting.
I think this is going to go badly. Yes, like... Whoa!
This is some sweet animation.
Oh, don't stop on my account. Wasn't planning on it.
Oh my god.
Wait.
This is a 1v1. Like... Oh, I love it! I love it! Well, now Clover's gonna leave this.
Score to settle. Oh, I agree. So what say we put the kid to bed and then finish it?
Whoa.
Oh, man. This is really going bad.
Oh, crap! Oh my god!
No way!
Wow!
Oh, man.
Oh, I don't know about this one, Chief. I don't know about this one.
Yeah.
2v2.
I'm trying to arrest her, not kill her, Hair. You're being excessive.
Oh.
It's not excessive if it's necessary.
Oh, shoot, his semblance. Oh, well. Oh, jeez! This is a
Blake, what happened to your illusions?
It's just too fast, dude. It's reaction time.
Fine. They've had their chance. Don't be soft.
Are you telling me? Or yourself?
Oh. Combo time, let's go. Whoa!
Oh, yeah!
They're gonna ignore her and go straight for him, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Oh!
Yep. He's the real problem of the group here.
Yep. Nice! Oh! Okay, cool.
What? What? Whoa! Oh my god! What? Oh, he's done! Oh, dang.
That's some Gates of Babylon stuff right there.
Jeez, I really feel bad for Marrow here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Well, you can do it on...
No, I think you can only do it on one thing at a time.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. It's just literally the flash you're facing here. Jeez!
Ha! Whoa! Ah! I love it! This is so wonderful!
Whoa! Whoa!
Oh, okay.
Oh, that!
Oh! Whoa!
What? Who needs arms? Who needs arms?
Yeah, this is amazing.
Oh, just
yes, yes,
done. Oh, okay.
We have to stop Ironwood. If he can't access
Wow!
the relic, he can't move Atlas.
Holy crap, Ruby!
Blake and I will look for the others.
But our scrolls don't.
Oh.
This is the part where they ask us to help.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Oscar
But
must be around
yeah.
here.
Okay. Yes.
Oscar!
Ah!
Oscar!
Let's go.
Oscar, you're here!
No!
Yep. Oh!
Wait. Okay.
This crazy girl showed up and attacked me, but she looks like someone else.
Neapolitan.
You know her?
We haven't exactly heard good things.
Ha! How can you hear anything good? She's mute.
Yeah. Well,
It
also,
will be painless for her.
first time they've
You
actually
said your
heard her full
personal
name.
feelings
Yeah.
Do not matter.
They won't change my actions. What I'm committed to. The power of the Winter Maiden and the relic must be kept from our enemies. Even if it means she dies. But yes, Penny, we must still acknowledge our personal feelings. Wrestle with them. It ensures us that we're on the right path. It's what makes us human.
I think I understand.
And is Penny gonna have to hold off Cinder while the transfer happens?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, someone saw Rogue One.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well.
Okay.
Both of Ironwood's puppets. Lucky me.
Cinder.
You were responsible for Beacon. For what happened to me.
It was, unfortunately, temporary. Now step aside or there won't be anything left to salvage this time. What do you think of that?
I think it gives me personal feelings.
Yes!
Yeah!
I love it! Okay, this is
bad.
This is bad.
This is real bad.
We cannot be fighting like this. This is the wrong.
Uh-huh.
Jeez. Yeah.
Come on.
Oh! Whoa. Holy crap. I love how universally, like, helpful just a line is. Oh!
Crow, man.
Okay.
Couldn't you just do the right thing instead of the thing you were told?
Oh.
Sometimes the right decision is the hardest to make.
Yeah, that's the struggle he has with himself.
James with my life.
Yeah.
I wanted to trust you.
Yep.
Ah! Wow.
That's a shot. You did this, Crow. I mean, not really.
Well,
but you kind of did.
Well, they all did this.
Yeah.
Jeez. Ah.
And with his own sword.
Doesn't look like your friend's gonna make it.
I'll kill you!
Oh!
Like you just killed Clover?
Yep.
Ah, here they come. Right on time.
Wow.
Oh, looks like our score will have to wait. You know my track record with the authorities.
Wow.
Someone had to take the fall.
James will take the fall. I'll make sure of it.
Wow. I can't believe they're doing this.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And he's dead.
Well. All right.
Okay.
That was an episode.
That was an episode indeed.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
Wow.
Adrian Cohen was that other person joining the music stuff. Okay. Oh. Ruby's line. You were.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That was like the the chills.
Yeah.
Just
Oh boy.
Oh my god, we have this to look forward to.
Amazing.
I cannot wait. Oh my god,
Woo!
I cannot wait. All right. Oh my god.
So volume 7 is my favorite volume. I mean, it's been for a little while, I feel like, but this definitively
I feel like the last episode might still be a little bit better.
I think it might.
This one is more fight focused.
But whoa.
Yeah, I still think last episode is still my favorite episode of the volume. But
I think so too.
This episode did something rather bold though. This is what they did that I need to kind of think about actually for a second here, was they made the characters screw up. And when I say really screw up, they royally messed up here. The big one here is that Ironwood did this for reasons, and I believe his reasons. So I would say that character decision-wise, all the way up until this point, I am on board with it.
Right.
But literally the thing that we were like, please don't do this, they did that thing.
Yep.
And yet I'm kind of okay with it, but I'm not. Like,
because for characterization, it totally works for Ironwood.
Robin Hill is such a new character that I kind of give her a pass.
Right.
This is more just characterization for her, and it fits a little bit with her pseudo-revolutionary, reckless kind of
impatient kind of
aspect. Yeah. And so that's something I'm okay with. Crow, though, we have a lot of characterization for here. Oh boy. And this was something where the writers were like, okay, we've got a little bit of a chemistry thing going on between these two characters here.
Yeah.
We're going to have Crow be the first one to be like, hey, let's let sounder minds prevail.
Yep.
And calm down and talk this out. Let's go speak to James personally.
Yeah, exactly.
We have the new... And Clover was going to do that.
Yeah.
But then he got orders. Wanted, detain on site.
Right.
Okay.
And the thing is, he was still wanting to go with it. He's like, hey, it's only for Crow.
Yep.
And we'll figure it out.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I love how... See, because, okay... One of the things that I was worried about with this volume was that the things that would happen would feel melodramatic, and the thing is that
the stakes aren't things that were built up from previous
right,
volumes.
Exactly,
yeah.
and that basically what they've done here is they've had a lot of the things happen where eventually things go wrong in ways that you would hope they wouldn't, but kind of need to for the sake of keeping the story going.
Because it was built this way.
Yeah. However. With the way that they do it, they've been doing such a good job of selling it. Because showing Clover and Crow being like, yeah, no, let's not. This is like, we're adults. We'll figure this out. This is probably a misunderstanding. We don't have all the information. Tyrion's here, right? Like the fact that wasn't maybe something that was brought up quite as strongly, and whatever. But like. They were like, we're not just going to start fighting on this aircraft that could very easily crash and whatnot.
Yeah, Robin
Yeah,
that's maybe actually.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I don't give Robin a full pass. Dang it.
Yeah, I don't think I do either. But the thing is that if they were to have a character where they do that, have it be with the character that we understand the least.
Yeah.
Right? And that
it had to be either Clover or Robin, and Clover did his thing of escalating it by immediately following the orders.
Exactly. Well, and that was a way of escalating. But the thing is, it's also something that continues to build up Clover as a character. One of the things that, because he's the leader of the Aesops and everything like that, and especially with the whole idea of like, whoa, what if, you know, like the whole idea that we were having of like potentially he betrays them or whatever.
Right.
Something like this is so welcome to have him be someone that is super reasonable, right? And he's like, no, this is all gonna work out. I have to do the stuff that I have to do, but this can all turn out just fine. And then of course it doesn't, right? It does so much to build up him as a character, which is great because if you're going to kill him off, you want us to be rooting for him right up till the end.
Right up until the end. And in some ways, this is part of the thing that I would say is the bold choice this episode. Because there's another dynamic going on here. Clover as a character actually wasn't given as much characterization, I would say, as we might have been led to believe.
Okay.
And I think that one of the things that we saw from him there was that he was a good leader who cared about his subordinates and about the others around him. He was, I would say, a rather empathic individual. He had good qualities about him that in some ways, if you looked at all the factors involved, it wasn't that we were getting necessarily traitor vibes from him. It's that we were getting very veiled death flags, actually. And we were looking at them as traitorous because in some ways, if he was to turn traitor, he would kind of have to die at some point.
Right.
Anyway.
Or that would be the death of the character that we knew.
Yeah. And instead they went for the no, we were going to give him his final act of characterization, then sudden tragic death.
Right.
But the idea that they went for this is someone who was a kindred spirit to Crow. And there was something chemistry-wise going on there.
Yeah.
And Crow, having just come off of his Volume 6 arc, which meant that he was disillusioned. He was the soldier that followed orders. He came out of that thing and went to this situation where he found someone who maybe had that, probably because of his position, that level of autonomy to be both a soldier, a follower, a leader, an inspiration. And he's like, and he's kind of charming,
and because of his semblance,
because of his semblance,
it's one of those things where is it because of his semblance that he's able to remain so positive and cheerful about things and whatnot, or is it actually because of his personality and yin yang, chicken and egg? Which one?
Chicken and egg. I don't think it really matters. I think the point is that it's all part of the package, right?
Right.
But the idea that they would have all this build up and intentionally lead it towards a character death is a bold choice. I would say.
Yes.
In a few levels, and I'm going to go over them, because the first one that immediately comes to mind is that Pyrrha is kind of an example of this. Pyrrha is an example of a character that was built to die.
Yes.
But the thing
and also built as one half of a relationship for a main character. Yeah.
So this feels very much like the writing of RWBY in order to do this. I generally don't like that style of writing.
Right. Me neither.
And I would say especially when it comes to the romance side of things, because it's a way to build up cheap emotional investment. And yet I would say I'm not actually bummed about it on that level. I'm bummed about it on the level of that this is a way that they were using it to build up Crow's character. So they sacrificed a potentially interesting character with their own dynamic to develop Crow, a character that I would rather get developed the most out of these four characters here: Tyrion, Robin, Crow, and Clover. Of the four of them, I care about Crow the most because we've been around him the longest. But the fact that it was then also the idea that, like, wait, Crow actually going towards some healing, going towards some specific things that could have been better for him, and the dynamic of adding a character to the group that could potentially give this good thing for Crow, only for them to be taken away because it was planned that way.
Well, and also the idea of it being something where it's Crow's, it is very much Crow's fault.
It is very much partially Crow's fault.
Oh, yes. Right. Like, he wasn't actually the one that killed him.
No, but the minute he sided with Tyrion, Clover
it's like, the hell are you doing, Crow?
That was the moment where I would have immediately jumped back if I was Crow, and I don't think he could here. I think he got too emotionally distraught out of this whole thing. But if he did, the minute that kind of thing happened, he goes, Clover, what's the most important thing here?
Yep.
And they would look at this and go,
that
Salem,
guy.
no. Salem can't win.
Okay.
That's why we're doing this. We're doing this for the greater good, right?
Yeah.
What's the greatest good here? Is it any of our individual wants or needs? No. Is it Ironwood's? That would have been the angle where I would go, do you realize what just happened here? And he's like, oh. And then they both turn and look at Tyrion for a brief moment. And Tyrion goes, and then it is basically just books it, realizing that he's not going to get anywhere.
Right.
And then they would have immediately been like, okay, remain at 20 paces from me. If you come any closer, because you already broke my trust. You already broke that.
Yeah, totally.
We maintain this distance. We go back to Robin. Robin being the middle piece in this whole thing, because she kind of kickstarted the fight part, at least, on a literal side of things. And we go, okay, Robin, we're probably going to have to leave her here. And then
she'll be fine.
And then Crow will be like, yep, she'll survive, she'll be fine. And they'll be like, we're gonna go to Ironwood together, maintaining the 20 paces, and we're just going
to chase down Tyrion first and get him.
I actually don't think they would.
Oh yeah?
No. I think the main thing was that they realized that Ironwood things have gotten bad so much to the point in information that they don't know about yet.
Right.
That we need to go over there because there's bigger things. Then Ironwood's orders, then Tyrion being a threat, then Robin Hill attacking us, then the 1v1v1v1 thing that we had going on here. And yet they didn't. And I like that mistake was something that was shared by all of them. I think that Crow made that mistake. I think that Clover made that mistake. I think that Robin made that mistake. And yet the one who's going to have to suffer for it is Crow. The one with the bad luck semblance, the one that gets left with everything at the end there, the one who essentially did the right thing, kinda.
Yeah. Well,
and is
you know something else?
Is left to suffer for it.
You know something else that's kind of interesting about how this ends up?
What's that?
So, okay. They're on a ship going to Atlas. Atlas is leaving and leaving Mantle behind. The ship crashes. Oh no, how do we get to Atlas? Okay, well, we leave Robin behind. Tyrion scampers off. Clover's dead. Oh, Crow, you can just turn into a bird.
You're not wrong.
I mean,
you're not wrong
I mean,
at all.
You know,
but
so...
Our boy Crow
Yep.
was just left with someone that he thought maybe could have been a brother or even more. And now he's howling as the sun comes up at the damn just bad luck of it all. The bad fortune of it all. And I do have to say I find it to be a little bit unfortunate that the relationship side of it was teased and
then specifically killed off.
But
yeah.
I'll wait a little bit until I've rewatched the whole thing to reserve judgment for that whole side of things.
What I will say that I do really like about
the orders bit, the line, why couldn't you just do?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That was
the best
because
part of the,
because the thing is the stakes of everything are high enough that makes me like invested in what happens.
Right.
Even if they had just left it at that, afterwards I probably would have been like, yeah, I'm not fully satisfied, right? But when Crow said that, that's brilliant. That's the kind of thing where I'm like, ooh. Because what that feels like is the writers were like, okay, we're in this situation. How could things possibly go worse? Crow and Tyrion team up and Clover ends up dying. Yep, that's about the worst way it could happen. Is there any way that we could make that not just feel justified, but feel like it came from somewhere deep and needed to happen? Yeah, Crow, because he's, you know, because Clover is what he used to be. Okay, cool. So they make him deliver that line, right? Which is him blaming himself, right?
Rejecting.
Right, rejecting.
Projecting.
Projecting, yeah, yes. And there's all of this wrapped up in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that Crow sees as basically maybe one of his greatest failures, right? And here, yeah. Well, now he's got another one.
Mm-hmm.
Clover's dead by his blade, and as a result of his decisions.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're gonna carry that weight.
This was probably the most graphic death we've seen in all of RWBY. And regardless of how you feel about this scene and this progression of events,
that
silhouette shot.
Oh my god.
That was pure brilliance.
Oh yeah. One of the things that
it's like a clever form of artistic expression, and then also censorship of the violence. And yet then they're like, wait, was this for censorship? Nope, not at all. Next scene, blood gushing out, collapsing, heaving with the blood going literally everywhere.
So you know what's one of the things that it's going to be weird that I'm making this connection.
Okay.
But when they show that silhouette shot, do you know what it reminded me of?
What's that?
The Lion King.
Oh, okay.
Because it almost looked to me like Tyrion was holding up Clover, almost like Simba, to show Crow, like, this is what you did.
Yeah. God.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, it was Crow's punch that also broke Clover's aura.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I also want to say that I really feel bad for the Aesops here. But I gotta say, the badassness of all these fights.
That was so awesome.
Okay, if the previous episode had probably one of the most technically interesting fights in that it was an awkward chase fight.
Right.
With, like, really cool, like, unique dynamics that reminded me of the talk fight from Volume 6 with Maria Calavera.
Yeah.
These fights here were some of the most high-octane, glorious fights I've seen in RWBY ever. The RWBY just deserves all the praise for what they did here. And I really felt it. The idea that they had to choose one of the Aesops specifically to humanize the most, and they chose the doggo, Marrow, to be the one that's like, no, I'm not going to go all out. We're not trying to kill them. We're trying to capture them. We're trying to, and we're better. We can do this.
And of course, they then have him face off against Weiss, which is perfect, right?
Yeah. But, I loved the idea that of all of them, there was literally only one though who was needed essentially to break their team dynamic. And I want to go on multiple levels with this here.
Oh.
Did you notice how the groups all had one piece of the puzzle that was basically a domino effect that led to everything kind of falling apart?
Oh, yeah.
In this volume as a whole, it feels like the writers realized the beauty of a simple causal relationship between one character's choices being a domino effect that makes another character choose something.
Yep.
And you can very easily map out the stories from like a structure outline perspective. And with this one here, we had Marrow, who spent the most time, I would say, at least talking wise.
Yeah.
You know, because there was that montage of training stuff. So they all spent a lot of time with each other. But he spent a lot of time getting to kind of be close with some of them, getting to know some of them. And he was probably the reason why his Reason 4 failed so easily. Whereas it was also the combination that Team RWBY has gotten really good at what they do.
Yeah.
They're out there fighting Grim. They're out there just getting that experience put in there.
Also fighting people like Tyrion.
Fighting people, like really good fighters. And just having to grow up way faster.
Yep. But, man. Like
and then also their semblances are all extremely strong.
But that was so awesome having Marrow and Weiss fighting because for it's the similarity that I wouldn't have expected. right?
Oh, okay.
Because now, granted, super powerful semblance, right? And but with the other Aesops, it was a lot more straightforward, right? You know, you've got the quiet, reserved one. You know, okay, Blake, sure. You've got the strong one, and all right, Yang, and then you've got the fast one, Ruby, right? But with Marrow, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Like
I you know what I see it as is cold on the outside, warm gooey cinnamon bun on the inside.
Yeah.
Is that Marrow is like, I am an Aesop soldier, tail wagging in the background, just like, and we're like, we like this one.
Yeah.
Weiss is basically that, where she's like, I don't like you very much. And then in the background you can see her like invisible like Weiss tail wagging. It's like, Ruby, we're gonna be such good friends. It's gonna be wonderful. And I love that Ruby just nailed it on the fights, but there were these moments within the fights where you saw the characters thinking.
Yep.
And the fights actually slowed, you know, for that micro, you know, bit of a second or what have you. Not literally, but to them plotting out a strategy, a tactic in the middle of the fight that changed the dynamic of the fight. And I got to shout out Yang and Blake's fight.
Yeah, that was so
with
awesome.
Elm and Zenyatta. Vine. I'm just calling him Zenyatta. It was the moment basically when they realized that Vine was
the real
causing
problem.
Way too much. It's basically like when you're playing Smash and there's that one character that's sitting at range.
Samus is just on the...
and you're just like, why are we letting Samus get free damage value?
Right.
Let's go kill Samus. And they're like, okay, sweet. And the dynamic also of utilizing the rubble to upset Elm's footing.
Well, I gotta say, there's something very poetic. There's something very poetic about the person that has the unshakable foundation, and yet the ground underneath them
was literally torn under.
Because I feel like that's a microcosm of Ironwood and Atlas and everything, right?
Oh, sure.
Because in a lot of ways, Ironwood will never give in, right? That won't happen. The Aesops will never give in. That won't happen. But if they don't have the support structure and everything, then it doesn't matter. You're still getting knocked around.
Oh, you know what's even more depressing about all of this?
What?
Aesops aren't a full unit right here.
Yeah. Clover's
the main
gone.
reason why they lost probably is because they weren't, you know, a unit.
Oh yeah. Well, here's
their
another
leader was gone.
Also, for the past how long, they've probably been used to fighting for most of the time with that little bit of good luck. But their luck's ran out.
Oh shoot. I didn't even think about that.
Like,
the idea that they don't have their buffs up.
Oh yeah. Well,
they don't have their buffs up, and like I could totally see this being a thing where people are like, oh, like Ruby, a little bit of confidence or what have you. There's no way they should win against the strongest. No, like have you seen how good they've gotten? Yep. And like how little in some ways the Aesops have probably had to deal with like real threats for the longest time, especially if they've established such control over Atlas and Mantle.
I mean, I'm sure Ironwood figures out how to give them the best,
training.
Well, the best training, and also still send them on the tough missions because he has tough stuff that he needs to get done.
But for the longest time, they recalled everything.
Sure, yeah.
They might not have left actually that often.
One of the things that I'm really excited to see happen potentially, and because like the Aesops are side characters, so this probably won't happen, but this is my own little headcanon. That, you know how like when people might say go through a breakup, it'll be an actual biological addiction that they're basically needing to come off of, because they're used to smelling the other person. They're used to having like just everything about that person being a constant presence in their life, and now it's gone, right? And it totally throws them like loop, so that nothing seems right anymore. Like not just emotionally, but physically, right? Okay. And that's what it'll feel like now that they don't have their good luck semblance following them around everywhere.
Oh, in future storylines.
Yeah. If not that they'll ever necessarily get the screen time for it, but
are you kidding me? We're totally gonna have an Avengers Assemble moment at the end of RWBY. The RWBY writers were probably watching Endgame and they're like, oh my god, we are doing this for RWBY.
Yes.
Volume 12 or whatever it is.
But barring that with like slice of life stuff. my prediction is that they're going to have the equivalent of that, where the world's going to feel a whole lot colder, not just in the sense that their friend is gone,
right?
But life just doesn't quite move and tick the same way that it used to.
I agree. Yeah, clever usage of all the abilities and powers here. I would say the RWBY went all out in showcasing specifically Yang, probably moving the most creatively. I would say out of any of the RWBY fighters. There were multiple moments where I literally wanted to freeze frame and explain what she was doing. Okay, so she ends up taking on Elm almost immediately here.
Right, makes sense.
And she auras,
Yeah, which is great.
Her, and it was just amazing. But the way in which she basically took the strongest in terms of probably raw combat ability completely into the 1v1 setup there, and constantly had to in some ways save Blake, because Blake's whole misdirection thing just kept getting probably shunted off because she wasn't able to cast it or what have you.
I will say that does seem like it's something of Blake's that has maybe changed a little bit, in that early on in RWBY, it seemed to be something where she would
activate it faster.
Well, not only she would activate it faster, but it was almost like a mini teleport when she activated it. In that she
still does that. She still does that.
Right, but it seemed like there were several points where it's like, this would be a great point to do that, and she just didn't.
I think that again, there's moments in RWBY where obviously the fights are, they're less exploring what the abilities are do. They have a predetermined ending, and they kind of want to hit that ending. But I would say in this case, I think what we're supposed to expect, and this is usually what I expect usually in anime when it does this, is when a character doesn't use an ability that they should have had a great opportunity to use, it means that there was something about the way that the fight was going, flow-wise, that they couldn't find their turn to actually hit the button.
Or maybe that's because there's going to be a better use of their ability later on, and they want to make sure that they all hit their abilities from a narrative sense, but they're not just going to have them be spamming it every 2 seconds. So
I would say that is probably the case for certain things, but I would say with Blake's ability being such a defensive one, it rather than an offensive one, I would say that it is probably something else in addition to that.
Potentially.
But
the takedown for
the
Vine
takedown for Vine was awesome.
Was
utilizing
sweet.
The delayed explosions that she had as part of the upgrade of her weapon there. Then throwing him specifically as they comboed him into the platform in the middle, shattering the ground. Specifically ruining the one thing that would be Elm's greatest strength. The idea that she's indomitable. She can't be moved once she decides to not be moved. And then it doesn't come up as a thing until they actually start to corral her specifically within this room.
I feel like Elm's semblance is like a much easier to work with version of the Juggernaut from X-Men, because it's in a very limited way, right? But then when she's carrying through, while you can't you can't beat her.
But I wanted to analyze this actual segment here with Blake and Yang. Yang throws Blake. She goes into attack and harry Elm here. Yang, you can see, is basically preparing and starts firing a whole bunch of stuff at the ground.
Yes.
She is specifically spreading the cracked ground area all around.
Yep.
And this is something that Elm isn't going to notice because Blake is harrying her here. Then she specifically gets that one moment where she realizes, crap, I need to undo my semblance so that I can shift positions here. And by that time, she needs to basically defend against an attack from Yang, who comes in. She switches into the rocket launcher to basically be like, I'll just take you hit for hit.
Right.
My aura is probably stronger than yours. I can make this hit here. Yang comes in, acknowledges, I'm going to take a rocket to the face.
Right.
Realizes that, switches her semblance on to then
hit the ground.
That damage, if she did get shot with it.
Right.
Hit the ground, launch her up, and
Thundercross split attack.
Thundercross split attack.
Yeah.
Now, this is something I'm almost wondering if they actually did this here. Was whenever you punch the ground, your fist should hurt a little bit. I actually think the fact that she fired off a literal explosion at the ground. You know, that's actually a little bit of damage. That's something where she's actually boosting herself right there, in addition to knocking off her support.
Also, I will say that was her robot arm. So,
was it her right arm?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Then you're right. And then they launch up and do the double combo.
One other thing that was just so cool this episode was how they used speed.
Oh, speed. Yeah, Harriet and
RWBY. Because all right, me and Caleb have said this many times before in different reactions and things like that, but the thing that you cannot avoid is action economy.
Yep.
AKA speed. Yep. With the best being actually stopping time, because then you have infinite action economy.
Yep.
But if you have any kind of super speed, and it's actually super speed, you should just win. Unless you can't actually physically, your attacks cannot bring down your opponent, right? So having RWBY going up against Harriet and seeing them actually using it all the time. Right?
All the time.
Like even to go into other fights and help out and then go somewhere else, right? Because the thing is, because that's the kind of stuff you'd be able to do if you had super speed. Like, it would be an absolute nightmare to anyone else that's trying to fight you. Like, it just doesn't work.
It's like they both acknowledged, okay, whichever one of us wins, we win this whole thing.
Right,
so
exactly.
Neither of us can go down.
Right. We need to stay on top of each other. Because
I love that in that respect. That's why it was so terrifying to Harriet when RWBY comes in with this line.
Yeah, you were.
Where is it? You think you're going to stop us?
Yeah, we're the best in Atlas.
It's like, you were. And it's got that...
Yeah, and her Harriet's eyes just widen a bit, like...
But then you trained us, and then she bursts with speed, leaves the combat area, which to Harriet goes, wait, I don't know what she's doing.
Whoa.
Whatever it is, I can't let her leave.
Right.
No one can stop her but me.
Yep.
So instead of doing what might have been the pragmatic thing and literally just knocking out all three of the rest of Team RWBY, she's like, crap, I have to go stop her. There's no one else that can stop her but me. I'm out. See you guys. I'll be right back.
And I love that stuff. I love that stuff where it's the threat of the things that I can do if you don't come to stop me. Even if you will win this whole game over here, I can do a lot of stuff if you don't stop me.
And I actually think from RWBY's perspective, like not RWBY's perspective, from the rest of RWBY's team's perspective, they might have just been like, that wasn't part of the plan, but she's got a plan.
I mean, they might have been thinking, yeah, she's going after Ironwood. She's stopping him from doing the thing, you know. But
I just love how Harriet turns like you what? You what, mate? And then just goes after her.
And the way they did the speed, like oh man, like this is the kind of thing that really, the fact that RWBY is 3D, you know, this helps with so much because the blurs and everything just looked so good.
You can actually pause and see
the after
multiple
images.
Frames of her movement. And Harriet, I'm talking about specifically. Because her speed looks way better than RWBY's.
Right, because RWBY actually changes,
But just...
Yep. And like once Harriet's arms were locked up, but she's still like, so what? I've got my legs and I'm super fast. It was just... it was great.
This fight was so good. And I will say that in a lot of ways, this episode is held back a little bit by the things happening that aren't this fight between the Aesops and RWBY, like as a team. I'd say the other parts are awesome, but they're just not nearly as awesome.
Like just randomly like, oh, Neo's here, and then they just punch her and yes, it's Neo. Like that could have had some more interesting stakes.
That part felt a little bit clunky.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this whole encounter with Oscar and Neo happened off screen? Did they cut something in the editing room? Like,
well, I mean,
because it was just, it felt out of place maybe. But then they're like, oh, but we're going for the blind of, no, this one's actually Oscar. But I'm like, wait, no, this is going to be like a double blind. And
yeah. I was waiting for there to be some kind of double blind or something too.
But then I was like, wait, Neo can't transform something she's not touching. Like,
right. But I gotta say though, I really liked that Winter and Penny were having this conversation.
Yes, that was a good conversation.
Because the thing is that since Winter is the other character that we've known the longest in this episode, other than like Ironwood and Crow and and them and the actual like core cast, the fact that she is having these conflicts as well, especially since, well, her sister is involved, right, and we know how Winter is about her sister, right, which potentially recontextualizes the death flags of I won't always be around to protect you, because, well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've had death flags for Winter.
Oh yeah, totally.
Forever.
But that's just another angle on it.
Yes.
And then the whole idea of we're going to be killing this lady because I need the powers.
I really like about this is that this is going to turn into a fight, and I genuinely don't have the foggiest clue how this has to go down.
I really want Penny to end up getting the Winter Maiden's powers.
Okay.
I really want
prediction
that to
time,
happen.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Does Cinder get the Winter Maiden powers? What are your bets? What are your odds? Because I think we're about 35% chance that Cinder wins everything.
Well, I mean, there's 3 of them, so
no. I mean, like, I'm talking about scales of victory.
Right.
I mean, like, she kills both of them. Like Penny is near.
I don't think Penny's going to die.
Penny is nearly shattered.
No. Okay. All right. Here's what I think is going to happen.
All right.
Well,
I know, right?
Know. Okay.
I can't predict this.
Here's one of the strong possibilities of what could happen. Winter dies because that's been foreshadowed and all that stuff for forever.
And it's another failing for Ironwood. It's
right.
another one that basically showcases Ironwood. You're number 2 because of what you did. Essentially, it led towards this bit here.
Right. Because Cinder wouldn't have known to come here if not for them. Penny, they said in like the very first episode or second episode or whatever, that she could be brought back probably once more.
Yep.
And it would take Pietro's life.
Yep.
So they could do that.
Yep. I think that is 100% happening.
Here's what I'm wondering. And maybe this is just my own fan-fiction-y desires.
Yep.
But I want Penny to get the Winter Maiden's powers.
Me too. I've been saying this since maidens were introduced. I'm like, Penny was made to be the eternal resting place for a maiden. That's why this.
So would it be possible that she somehow dies,
wakes up,
but has the powers, and then is brought back, and she still has the powers?
Okay.
Like,
I got it.
Something along those lines.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So Cinder defeats them after a very long fight.
Yeah.
While this fight is going on, the Winter Maiden wakes up because of the destruction and getting knocked out of the machine and what have you, sees this going on and watches Penny, parts barely hanging on, still fighting to protect the maiden from Cinder. And then Cinder just laughing, just destroying Penny, just it's awful. The Winter Maiden sees this going on and then basically just throws herself, powers whatever she has left to try and stop Cinder. It's not enough. She dies, like she doesn't die, she gets beaten. Penny gets cast to the side, broken, dying. As she's doing this, Cinder does the grim arm and starts to extract the power from her and seemingly succeeds or what have you, but kills her or what have you. Then while this is happening or what have you, Penny like wakes up or what have
magically like reassembles or something with maiden power.
I would say it would be a thing of where Penny would get the maiden powers because of the sacrifice of the Winter Maiden to die to protect someone else, a young girl. It's too on the nose that they would have Penny, this young girl.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now. If Cinder does the glove thing, that should take the powers. However, one of the other things, and this is something they don't have to bring up. They don't have to, but when they introduced the whole idea of the maiden powers, there was a series of convoluted and whatever rules, right? They said that they didn't know all the rules, so there is a possibility that
a person can't have more than one maiden power,
or something like that, or whatever. but something would happen, and Cinder would think that she's about to win.
Yeah.
And then a new rule basically crops up. Or maybe the Winter Maiden just grabs a shard of glass and kills herself.
Shoot.
Like, intentionally sending it to someone else. You know? But I don't know.
I just want Cinder to be staring down the blades of an ascendant
Penny.
Yeah. Robot parts dangling and like barely hanging on, floating up into the like above the ground as this whole area is decimated.
As Penny chants,
blades
I am
just
the bone
spinning,
of my sword.
Blades spinning with like you know, just
that. I mean, that would be so
ethereal,
cool.
magical energy.
That would be so cool.
And just going, I think it's time that I share a bit of my feelings with you.
Yeah. All right. Can we just say for a moment, all
that
theory
line,
crafting aside, that line was so great. Let's just say it's giving me personal feelings.
Yeah. So the line is literally a callback to what she says in the very beginning, is that my personal feelings don't matter, and she says they should matter.
Right.
Winter here is saying my personal feelings don't matter. We have orders. We're going to retrieve the power of the Maiden, Winter Maiden, so we can access the relic. And you're here to ensure my safety. And then Penny goes, what does Penny say? She says they should matter. Or she says it should matter.
Yep.
And it's so wonderful because Penny is Penny is in some ways the soul of the show. In the same way that Ruby is.
Kind of.
Because Penny is the one thing that might still be somewhat innocent and connected to volumes 1, 2. Like the beginning points of the show.
She's probably going to end up basically being Ruby's anchor.
Yeah.
Of a sort. Like, Ruby's going to have the rest of Team RWBY, for sure.
Right.
But,
But Penny will be that tie back to the memory of the time when things were simpler and wholesome and happy. And Ruby had her huge breakdown moment in the last episode.
Oh yeah.
So the fact that Penny is holding on to the ideals here, to the better future, to looking at things as all life mattering, and Winter's trying to convince her about the needs of the many,
and yet acknowledging that struggle is important.
That struggle is important, and then Penny understands that, only for Cinder to show up and make things a lot simpler.
Right.
And then that she goes, just
gives me personal feelings.
I love that so much.
That was
yeah. So they cliffhangered us. Hard.
Oh,
and next episode.
Yeah. One other thing I do have to say. So Weiss was pretty queen this episode. I have to say, because one, the part where she's like slowed, but then the knight is still there, that was just great, right? And the whole part where there's like the
autopilot.
Yeah, and there's like the cold air everywhere obscuring Marrow's vision, and then suddenly she's there with the knight, and it's just like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But even more importantly, after she defeats Marrow and ice wall.
Like, because so can we talk about actually just our dumb game that we made?
Yeah.
So y'all, this is actually like completely irrelevant discussion.
I mean, it does have some relevance because it was hilarious to see, like, because that is how you beat a speed person, and normally it shouldn't work because they should have the reflexes to match, otherwise they'd kill themselves like way early on in their powers development, right?
But it's still just fun because maybe that's not a part of Harriet's semblance, is that it has nothing to do with her reflexes. She's just really fast.
Sure.
And so she has the same reaction time. But the fact that, okay, Jacob and I used to make this game, which was essentially a LARP kind of tag game.
Yeah, like a LARPing MOBA RPG tag.
But for tag.
Yeah.
And the idea was that you would have certain superpowers, and those would give on-cast abilities based on certain states of the game. If you were to target a single individual to stop them for what have you, you would yell out a thing, and then they would have to respond and do a thing for X number of seconds. Well, we had a thing where a specific setup led to a super speed person who was trying to tag someone who had ice abilities.
I was the super speed person.
I was the ice person, and I believe it was me. But yeah. Jacob was running super fast, and he used an ability that makes me run in slow motion.
Right.
So, which basically shows that he's fast.
Right.
So then I freak out, and as he's just about to get near me, I use an ability called Ice Wall.
Or no. Oh, no, I guess it wasn't technically Ice Wall. It was, we had these saves where, like, when you get tagged, you can get away a certain number of times, and Ice's was slip on ice.
Right.
And there was little bits of snow on the ground, and I literally, because I was, tearing to get to him. So he
tagged me really quickly. He went past me as he tagged me. I said slip on ice to get away.
And as I tried to stop.
As he tried to stop, he literally slipped kind of on ice, fell on his back, and slid like, about 4 feet or something like that. And then he has to lay there for 3 seconds while I get away. But it was hilarious because I told him to do a thing, and he doesn't have to do it to a T, but just the fact that he did it, and it happened, and it actually kind of hurt him.
Well, and there were other people around too. So
they
it was
saw this happen.
The game practically stopped and then tag. You don't stop the game of tag, but everyone just stopped for like 5 seconds, just laughing
hysterically.
How could that have happened? But then also just the idea of it's great slapstick in a fight brought about by our Queen Weiss of super fast person, and then suddenly poof, they run into a wall.
And I also got to say that whoever wrote, I would say, some of the rules of probably how this fight had to go down, because there's the actual writing of the story beats and what have you, but then there's writing like the choreography and all that kind of stuff there. They were, I would say, they made the smart choice in having the speed person be the last person that went down.
Right.
You cannot have the speed person
unless they get taken down by the speed person, but then how do you make it so that they really feel like they're a threat in a fight?
Well, no, because if the speed person on either side went down early, all the other fights would become meaningless.
Right, because you have a speed person and they don't. Yeah, exactly.
And thankfully, they had the speed person go down last, which is like, all right, good stuff.
Yeah.
So, this episode passed the sniff test for me on all the fights. The character decisions were intense and I would say slightly risky in terms of just
this is sending
choices.
Crow on an arc. Like he had his stuff before, but oh boy, now.
But
man.
I gotta say I could see a lot of people not liking the way that things went down.
And I will
Clover.
absolutely miss Clover, and I think it is awful that he is gone. The fact that it's such on Crow's head though that it happened. It's at least something that's it is not going to be forgotten anytime soon.
Right. This is more impactful in an intensity level, but than a lot of Crow scenes usually tend to be. But it harkens back to Volume 6, Chapter 3, in that Crow has been, in a lot of ways, since Ozpin failed with Beacon and everything like that, he has been on thin ice, so to speak, with regards to his faith in this whole thing. And he needs now people like the members of Team RWBY. And although we saw
rock bottom.
Yeah, although we just saw RWBY being confident and badass in the fight and what have you. When all this is over,
it's gonna hurt.
There's gonna be some processing needed that is not going to be easy.
Oh no.
And especially given that there's a possibility that two characters that are kind of emotional anchors for two of our main characters, both Weiss and RWBY, having Penny and Winter potentially one or both of them being on the line here.
Oh yeah.
This is not good. So that being said, thank you all for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction in a timer-based format so you can sync it up with the Rooster Teeth first footage, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. Any level of support gets you access to our Discord where you can chat with us and our community about this show, about other stories, anime in general. But there's also Jacob's sci-fi novel there. That you can check out as well.
I wrote a book. It's really cool. It's sci-fi and it's called Battle Lines. It's awesome. It's on Amazon if you want to get it. It's in both hardback and ebook. Links down in the description. Go check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.